Alrighty, so DLSS 4.5 is released. It's not available to everyone yet. I think you have to opt in for the beta on the NVIDIA app. I don't use the NVIDIA app. I install clean drivers without any of that bullshit. So I just downloaded the file and installed it replaced all the DLSS in my DLSS games. The 6-time frame generation doesn't work with anything but 50 series cars, but also it's not included in this download. It's only the main DLSS file, which includes a transformer model, which is supposed to have better image quality and faster response time, and also less artifacts and all that shit. So basically it's a graphical upgrade, and I can already tell there are less artifacts while using reprojection mode in VR. I don't play in 2D ever, so I don't really care about frame generation. But smooth motion, I do care about. So I'm pressing A to enter, and that doesn't work. Why not? But I could also just press this. Okay. So we're just doing a quick little test. I did fly around in this thing earlier, so I do have it right in my mind of what it should look like. I'm gonna open up these doors for homeboy back there. Oops. Probably should turn on the helicopter before the generator. Yeah, so it looks good right now. But as far as the 6 times frame gen, again, I don't really care about that. 6 times frame gen for 10 times the price of the cards these days. So whatever. This is a pretty impromptu test. Yeah, there's definitely lots of artifacts. There's still some, but the image seems more stable and clearer for sure. And I'm using DLSS balanced right now, and it's fucking super sharp. So we like that. Oh yeah, it is sharper for sure. So again, hold on, let me just turn on the headphone simulation here. Again, the frame generation is not included. I haven't seen a file for it yet, so right now the only thing that's available is the transformer model and the main DLSS file. What am I doing? Oh yeah, sound. So no frame gen, no ray reconstruction yet. I guess they're still working on that, or they just haven't released it yet. But the main DLSS file for image quality and the transformer model is out. And from what I can tell, it's working great so far. I mean, this is literally the first time I'm using it. And it's supposed to still be with faster response times, they said, and faster response times, better frame timing, and again, better image quality. And I could already attest to the image quality. It looks great. It is very much. It's noticeably sharper than it was before, and it was pretty sharp before. I mean, I had pretty damn good image quality before, even with DLSS balanced, which is where it's at right now. I haven't changed any other settings. I just threw in the new DLSS file. That's it. So Yeah. Looks really good. Let me turn on the lights here. Stupid flow. I gotta hit it twice sometimes for it to. There we go. Let's give it a little more daylight here. Actually, even more than that. There we go. I mean, again, there are still artifacts, but I really only get artifacts when I'm panning the camera around. But it's supposed to be less ghosting, which was by and large a hell of a lot better with DLSS 4. A lot of the ghosting issues I had were gone, except for over the water, so that's going to be a good test. When you're over the water, you get a lot of ghosting. In 2024, I don't remember 2020, so I haven't played 2020 in over a year. Alright, so we're going to get close to the ground because that's where you get most of your artifacts and fast motion and moving. There's some on that collective on the left side. But a little bit on the edges of my helicopter. But that's, that's more motion reprojection than artifacts. And like, I don't know how it would look if we were, at 90 frames a second, like solid without reprojection, because honestly, no card is giving us 90 frames a second in Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. Yeah, and there's still some artifacting in the shadows, but it's not bad. Like, the shadow of my helicopter is like wiggling and shit, but it's not crazy. It's not any more than it used to be. I can't tell if it's better than it was, but general image quality seems better, for sure. Sharper. That being said, is it a huge difference? Nah. It does look better. I mean, like out the box, right off the bat, I could tell that my helicopter was definitely sharper, more like it just looks more detailed. Everything's running pretty much as it is. This is not a very scientific test. I'm just, I'm testing the feel of it all right now and the way it looks. I'm not testing frame rates or anything. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just, just jumping in, going for a flight. The only thing I did was reboot my computer before I started the flight. That's it. And, swap out the DLSS file. I do have motion or smooth motion enabled, so my mirror is going to be nice and smooth, which is more indicative of the performance I get in the headset. The headset is also nice and smooth. You do take a hit when using smooth motion while you're in VR, and it doesn't affect your VR performance, but it does affect the mirror. But you do get a little hit on VRAM, but I have enough VRAM to go around right now. I'm probably using like 8 gigs right now of VRAM. Cankle sneeze. I'm just checking out to see how sharp the text is. The text is nice and sharp. My instruments look good. Yeah, I could actually read a little bit more easily. The very small, this helicopter must only be operated in compliance with the operating limitations, blah, blah, blah. So I can read that, no problem. Bypass air, oil chips, fuel filter, I can read all that stuff. Ammo is low down there, yep. So the 7s are upside down for some reason in the UHF radio. But yeah, so far it looks pretty good. I don't feel like performance is suffering at all. It's performing pretty much as I expect. Yeah, the ground looks actually much better. Actually, yeah, the terrain looks a lot sharper and clearer. Less of that blur. And granted, I'm only at like 1,300 feet right now. But still, it's looking alright. Let's go nighttime because, yeah, there we go. Because there's some weirdness that happens with DLSS with the stars and shit when it's super dark out. But of course I have clouds, but oh yeah, way less artifacting when I'm, because I actually, when with DLSS 4, when I was external at night, panning the camera around, I would get these weird ghosts and smearing, and now that's all gone. I mean, again, you're still getting some artifacts, but it's not as bad, and the smearing is all gone now. So, yay. That's a win. And that only happened at night. It didn't happen, it's still slightly there. Nah. No, it's still very, but it's a lot better. It's a lot better than it used to be. For sure. Alright, right on. I downloaded the DLSS file because DLSS Swapper won't download it yet. It's not available on the Swapper, but I use the Swapper to import it to all my games. But all I needed to import it into the Swapper first, but I downloaded the file from Tech PowerUp. So before everybody asks, go to Tech PowerUp for the download. There's the... Yeah, it looks really good at night, actually. Much better. Alright, we're gonna actually go back to sort of, whatchamacallit, like dusk, because that's when I get the most, what am I, the ghosting over the water at dusk. We'll keep it there and lock it. Hopefully that'll be gone. Tomcat. Ooh, the DC Designs Tomcat? Gross. Dude, you need the India Foxtrot Echo Tomcat, son. That's a real one. Yeah, image quality is quite good. I'm going to take a look at what this looks like in the mirror. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It is a lot smoother in the headset than even with motion smoothing enabled. It's a lot smoother in the headset than it is in the mirror. Most of the time. Sometimes the mirror gets really smooth, but then sometimes it gets a little weird. But right now it's looking, I mean, in the headset, it's looking great. Alright, here we go. So performance should be better, and image quality should be better. Yeah, I'm not seeing any ghosting right now. The tiniest bit, but it's not even ghosting. I think it's artifacting. Yeah, it's artifacting. It's not ghosting. I'm not seeing any ghosting right now. Yeah, I got a little bit of artifacts on the skids, and on the tip of the skids, and on the back end on the bare paws. That's about it. And a little bit right by the front mirror over there. But that's it. Everything else is sharp and clear. And it depends on which angle I'm looking at it in. Like right here, no artifacts, no ghosting whatsoever. But here, a little bit artifacting. And a little bit more here. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm getting artifacting on the collective, and that's about it right there on the left collective, not mine, of course, and it's just because the water is moving really fast behind it. So you're getting a little bit, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit of chug. Like I dropped the frame right there just for a split second, but now it's all smooth again. Yeah, a little, some just like one lost frame right there. I don't usually fly like this, but, well, sometimes, but I'm just trying to make it do weird shit if it is going to do anything weird. Seems to be performing pretty well. Just, although, yeah, the frame times, I'm not entirely sure that's been improved that much. I don't know. So I'm getting a little judder here and there. Not a stutter, but like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not a micro stutter or stutter. Or a regular stutter. It's just sort of like a... I don't know. I haven't cleared out my cache in a while though, so I might need to do that. I'm not using dynamic settings either. I'm just using just straight off the bat sort of TLOD. So that might be part of it, but I switch dynamic settings on and off at times. Like sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I use it and everything looks great. And sometimes I use it and it looks pretty, blurry. So, but it's not on right now. And actually, let's turn it on and see what happens. Terrain still looks good. And what are we at? 1700. So at 1700 feet, it should look good, honestly. I hate it when you're at like 2,000 feet or something and shit looks like garbage. But sometimes you sacrifice the image quality for frame rate. But right now it looks great. So we'll leave that on for a while. Yeah, nice and smooth. No stuttering here. Not that I was getting any with 4.0, but yeah, I mean, performance has been really good with Microsoft Flight Sim since Sim Update 3 for me. So Sim Update 4 made it even better, but performance has been really good, and it remains quite good. Yeah, no stutter, super smooth. And I think I'm getting less of that weirdness with, because I used to get a lot of those wiggly buildings on the straight lines of the buildings. Sometimes they would wiggle. Like, it still happens a little bit. Like right now I can see a little bit, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And it seems like with every iteration of DLSS, it's gotten better. Yeah, most of the buildings seem very stable, and the lines aren't, doing the weirdness that they used to do. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, I'm gonna call it right now. Highly recommend DLSS 4.5. For me, the image quality is worth it, for sure. And, how long have I been flying? Like 10 minutes now? And I'm gonna throw that recommendation out there for anyone who cares. And this is my testing city. This is where I do all my testing, so I know what to expect in certain areas, and like where the issues are with image quality and performance. And I test in New York as well, but this is where I do all my testing, though, for sure. Yeah, I mean, everything that DLSS still has issues with is still here, but it's been reduced, So the artifacts are reduced, the weird ghosting is greatly reduced, and the wiggly lines on the buildings are greatly reduced. Like, they're almost gone. there, you know, there's that. You know what? Let's do this. I want to do it during like daylight because that's when it's at its worst. The wiggly lines. Yeah, everything's just a little clearer, a little sharper, or a lot sharper for certain things, and less weirdness. So to summarize, DLSS 4.5, sharper, clearer, less weirdness, same performance. I'm getting the same performance anyway. Like, I'm not getting any worse performance. Yeah, I mean, the wiggly lines are still there. Like, I still see some, like, oh, that building's really bad in that one. But, it's not as bad. Yeah, that one's got a lot of wiggliness going on. I don't know if you can see it on, yeah, no, it's not as apparent in the mirror. Although, you can see a little bit of, like, weirdness in the mirror. See the straight lines on that building, that white building right there? It gets a little weird in VR. But it's not as bad as before. Again, to summarize, less weirdness, less artifacts, less ghosting. Ghosting seems, by and large, a lot better. I was almost gonna say gone, but I don't want to say that yet. Yeah, looks good. I want to say the colors look better too, yeah. They seem richer. Could just be the time of day. I'm not used to flying around in like the middle of the day. I usually do a later in the day kind of thing, like right around here. This is where I usually fly. So let's do it. Like, if there is daylight out, it's gonna be like almost gone. Ooh, my torque is fucking maxed. Wasn't even looking at it. I'm just like, power, give me all the power. Unlimited power. Alright, so given that this is the game I play that I use DLSS the most for, that's most important to me, I figured this is the first game I would test, of course. But I will be testing my other flat screen DLSS games, and also, what else uses DLSS in VR? I don't think I have another DLSS VR games. All my other games are either, like Assetto doesn't use DLSS, and Assetto Corsa, not Evo. I think Evo does. I don't have Evo. What else do I play? I play Pavlov. That, I believe, does that use DLSS? I'm not sure. I don't think so. What else do I have in VR? Elite Dangerous. I don't believe that uses DLSS either in VR, and I don't even know if I have that installed right now. Star Wars Squadrons does not use DLSS. Yeah, so basically it's just going to be a bunch of 2D games, flat screen games that use it. Like The Last of Us, and, well, what else do I have installed right now? Ghost of Tsushima. That uses DLSS for sure. You know what? Delta Force uses it. I can install Black Hawk Down again. Try that. Although that game always looked good, and I always got great performance. I was running like 165 frames or whatever on it, like no problem. But yeah, this is looking good. Yeah, it really does make a difference in the distance as well. Everything in the distance is still pretty clear and sharp. Like all those buildings back there. And text is a lot sharper, at least on the aircraft. As far as inside the cockpit, yeah, like it does look sharper. It does look more clear and legible. And again, it's not like a huge amount different, but it is noticeable. But if I didn't already know, I don't know if I would have noticed it. Or maybe I would have and been like, hey man, the sim's looking really good today. But yeah, the terrain definitely looks a lot better. Even with dynamic settings. But that just might mean my computer is fast enough that it doesn't need to scale down the terrain right now. Which is great. I think this will be a nice boost for those with lesser GPUs. Let's say under 4080s. And under the 80 series, either 50 series or 40 series, I think the 70 series will get a nice boost in image quality. Everyone will, yeah, but I think it'll be more apparent for the lower end cards or mid-range cards. But yeah, it looks really nice. A lot sharper and clearer. I have my frame rate capped in VR, so I'm getting my minimum frame rate, which is also my maximum frame rate in this game. So I can't really tell a difference in performance. Because, I'm reaching my target frame rate. I mean, I might test it in 2D, but I don't ever fly in 2D, like ever. Never, ever, ever. So, the only time I'll boot this up in 2D is when I'm recording something and I want a 2D recording of it, you know? Like a flyby recording, that kind of thing. But yeah, low flight seems really stable, except for the slight artifacting on that collective. Yeah. Much more stable image. Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, a little bit of artifacting on the front end of my helicopter and on the basket, and like wobbliness on the skids for sure. That's about it. Again, it's better than it was. And I haven't seen any ghosting yet. And believe me, I'm very sensitive to the ghosting as well. Like when I see it, I'm like, ew, I hate that. So that's a nice boost. Like yeah. Ghosting, not so much, but artifacts still there, but less. So I have a feeling my 2D games are going to look really good. Not that, you know, because I was like, I can't even tell the difference between native and DLSS in 2D games. I think DLSS, like, looks great, and the boost in frame rates are you know, well worth it. And I rarely see anything wrong with the image. But, you know, a lot of them are fast-paced games, but, you know, games like The Last of Us, with, you know, high fidelity graphics, you can definitely tell a difference. Ooh, there's a little weirdness going on there. I will need to jump back in here and test like a jet, a fast mover jet, and a warbird, all the things I fly. But so far, so good. Transformer model is working. I saw a little weirdness back there on a cliff, but you know, it's never going to be perfect, right? Six times the frame rate at 10 times the price. Thanks, NVIDIA. I gotta say, the terrain does look much, much better. And I'm not talking about the pavement, even though the pavement looks good. The grass and all that shit from up top, from a higher altitude, looks a lot better. I did that on purpose. Well, I didn't mean to fuck it up like that on purpose, but I did do all that flippy clippiness on purpose. I wanted to see if the frame rate or anything got weird. It didn't really. Like, everything's still smooth and stuff. Yep. Alright, let me just do a little circle around this radar station or whatever that is. Like science something. It's just like a telescope, radio telescope or something, I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, more stable image and clarity and sharpness. Sure, I dig it. Available for all RTX cards. Well, whatever supports DLSS anyway. So my 1070 laptop is shit out of luck. That was like the worst landing ever.